everybody. Well, here comes the puppies. Had made mention that I would do a kit parade of things that are planned to be stitched. And I figured this is a good time to do it. When you guys are watching this, it's my birthday. So it'll be Wednesday that you guys see this, and it's my birthday. And birthday gifts haven't started rolling in yet, so we'll see where that goes. But anyways, I thought I would show you guys. Cam, you can come over here and lay down. There you go. And show you what is in the plans to at some point in time be stitched. Some things are fully kitted up, and some things just have the pattern, some things have the pattern and just the fabric, but at some point in time I'll get to them, and that's that. I know, I see you. So first I'll start with dimensions kits. This is Indian Peacock by Dimensions. And it's a kit, obviously. So everything is in there. I'm ready to go for when I'm ready to start it. When I will, I don't know. We will see. And next one is a Treasure Time, and it is a Dimensions Gold Collection. Again, it is a kit, so everything's in there. I probably will stitch it on once called for. Makes my life easier. This one is another Dimensions Gold kit, and it is Cabin Fever, and it's on 18 count Aida, and everything is in there ready to go. And last Dimensions kit is Woodland Winter, and it also has 18 count Aida in it, and I don't know when I'll stitch it, when I get to it. Next, I guess we'll go through Mirabilia, I think. Yeah, Mirabilia. So these ones that I'm going to show you are the ones that I just have the patterns for. I haven't cut out fabric for it. I haven't dyed the fabric for it. And I haven't bought the beads and treasures for it. So we'll start with just patterns first. This one is Renaissance Mermaid, and I don't know when I'll get to it, but I gotta get some more fabric to dye, and then I'll probably, I don't know, I'm not sure what color fabric to go with this. I really like it. It's really pretty. And the more I look at it, it looks like something like the blue. It looks nice on the blue fabric, but I feel like the mermaid kind of just blends in too much. So it might be something that I'll like. It has quite a bit of green in here, but I feel like it has like a yellowy green. So I'll probably, like, there's just small touches of yellowy green in here, so if I dye fabric for it, it'll probably be a yellow green color, a light yellow green color. This one is Siren and the Shipwreck, and again, I don't have anything for it, but when I get some more fabric to dye, I will probably... She doesn't look bad on this fabric, but I feel like if we went with like a periwinkle purple, like, can you imagine her on like a periwinkle purple? A very, very, very pale purple is probably what I would stick her on. Next one, Mermaids of the Deep Blue. And these two, I feel like the fabric needs to be darker. So I might stitch them on like a royal blue fabric and make it a very, maybe add just like a little bit of like speckles of navy blue in there just to give it that dark. This one is Enchanted Mermaid. And I don't like the color of this fabric that she's on whatsoever. I feel like she blends in, that I picked out here for her. So, like, her tail doesn't stand out, and it's a mermaid. You kind of want the tail to stand out. So, with her, like, she's got a lot of treasures and things like that. And I'm not sure what color I would stitch her on. Maybe leave me some ideas down below. This is what she looks like. Maybe leave me some comments down there and tell me, like, what color fabric would you stitch her on? Because I'm not 100% sure. I feel like she's stitched in pretty light colors. I'd have to pull all the floss for her first, but I want to get some projects finished before I start some new ones. And last one is Emerald Mermaid. And I feel like her fabric maybe is too dark on this one. So I think I would probably... and it's gonna sound weird, but I think I would stitch her on like a yellow fabric. It's gonna sound weird, but do you see how, like, it's showing up more yellow than what it is in that tail, but it's actually quite green, like a lime green tail, and I feel like yellow would make that pop. So those are just the patterns of Mirabilia. Let me see here. This has the pattern and the fabric in it. This is Forest Goddess, and I have her fabric ready to go here for her. So that's what she will be stitched on. Let's see if I can hold these up together here. Can you imagine her on this fabric? She'll be really pretty. It'll bring out a lot of those pinky colors she has in her dress. And then the rest of these, I believe, have everything in them ready to start. No, I take that back. There's two that I don't have the pattern for yet, but they are fully kitted up. And my friend is finishing up. I mean, she's probably going to be done with those. I'm going to say probably by the beginning of the year, she'll probably be done with those two, and I'll show you those in a minute. This one is Roses of Providence. And she is going to be stitched on this pretty pink fabric. And she is fully kitted. Let's see if I can hold these up at one time here. You see, she will be beautiful on this. Pretty pink fabric. And she has... Whoa. All of her flosses are in here. I've got to get them all sorted and onto rings. All of the flosses, they're all here. And then we've got her pretty treasures. She has really pretty treasures. Not sure why that jumped there, but it did. Here's another treasure for her. It's not easy to see. And then, of course, all of her beads are also in here. And really, honestly, I need to stop just going out and buying everything that patterns call for and start pulling from stash, because I have quite a stash of beads now since I did that bead swatch, and I bet I could pull a lot of beads from there and not have to buy more. This is fully ready. This is, oh, I can't read that. Ella the Frog Princess. And she is going to go on this purple fabric. So can you imagine her on there? It's going to be so pretty. So my one friend, Coral, she had asked me, the one that I did Raven Queen for, she said, there's no purple in this pattern. Why did you pick the purple background for her? And one, I'm going to change the skin tone to represent more of Tatiana from the Frog Princess for Disney. And that skin tone will look amazing against this purple fabric. But also because I am also a painter and I do that, a lot of times if you want something to really pop off a piece of fabric, you can go to the opposite of the color wheel, which would be a contrasting color. And for her, she has a lot of yellowy greens in her. So the opposite of that would be a purple red, or a purple that leans more to the red side. But I didn't want any red shade in it, so I went with more of a purpley blue color. She does have bits of pink splashed around in there in this fabric, so that it'll pop out more once, because as you can see on here, like, she has a lot of pink roses and things like that. So that'll help pull out the pinkier tones that are in there as well. So I needed, like I said, it's more of a yellow green that her dress is. So the opposite of that would be a red, purple, leaning more to like a red purple. So that's why I added the little bits of pink in here. I don't know if you can see if I can get it up close. It's just, there's little bits of pink that bounce around in this fabric, just a bit, and it's mostly purple, but a little bit of that. But it'll make her pop off this fabric. And what else is in here? We have, oh, can I fit it all in my hand? Some of these are on drops and some of them aren't. We have all of her threads. Like I said, there's, why is that showing up so yellow this time? Usually that doesn't do that, but this is like a lime green. But all of her flosses are in here. And then, of course, all of her beads. And she has a decent amount of beads. She doesn't have like a whole lot, but she has a decent amount of beads. Let me see if I can show you guys these. You got some pretty pink ones, more pink ones, lime green ones, champagne colored ones, and let's see if we can do this. This is more on the purple side, blue and sort of an orangey color, but she is ready to go anytime I am. And I don't know when I'll get to her, but at some point I will. I want to finish off some of these fancy ladies before I start some more. I'm having a bit of a dilemma because it's my birthday and I want to do a birthday start, but I have quite a few projects on the go, and I'm not sure if I want to start more. And I've been working my buns off. This is the Lakapati sitting right here. I'm working my buns off with her. There's a few of them that if I really like sat down and like just worked on them, I could have quite a few of these done in no time. It's just trying not to get bored with them. So I'm not sure what I want to do in that situation. Let's see, next one. This one is also fully kitted up. This is the Stargazer. And I showed you guys me dyeing this fabric on how I dye my fabric video. Let's see here. It would go this way. This is the way she'd be stitched on. But this is how it looks. I will place her somewhere in here, so that way she's looking up into the lighter section. And I think she'll look really pretty on this fabric. I always dye my own fabric. Very rarely do I ever buy. I think actually once. I have a new start that I'm going to be showing you guys when I do my next update video, which should be, I think, my next one. And that one I did buy the recommended fabric because it's a sow and I couldn't, you don't know what you're stitching, so I figured they probably did a pretty good job of picking out which fabric. So I took a risk and just bought what they had. Let's see. This one has all of her flosses here. All her flosses are there and ready to go. And that one doesn't go in there. I must have taken out the floss ring for one of these. Put that back because I don't want to lose where those are. But yep, these are all of her flosses in there. They are all ready to go. And then, do we have any treasures for this one? I don't see any treasures for this one. Just beads. You know, pony beads, regular beads, all different kinds of beads for these guys. Oh, ripping and raring to go. She is ready to be stitched when I get there. It is so hard not to start these. So hard. I just want to start them all. And this one is Garden Prelude. And she will be stitched on this fabric. And that is actually the way that she will be stitched. So you can see it. And then this is what it looks like next to the pattern here. To give it that interesting background. Sort of like a bokeh effect. And then what else is in here? Got all of her Karen water lilies here that are all sort of crazy. and done. And then all of her flosses are here. All of them. All of them are ready to go. When I am. And then she doesn't have too many beads. Here are those ones. And then these ones. And she is about ready to go. Whenever I am. Whenever that may be. I don't know. But I'm really excited to stitch her. My daughter Abigail, she was taught how to play violin, and she played violin for I'm not sure how many years, but she had played violin. She'll be 14 soon, and she loved it, but then just decided that choir was more her thing. So now she's in that, and she didn't want to do both, so that's what she does, which is fine by me. Now these are Murabiolas that I have that I do not have the pattern for yet. My friend is going to let me borrow them. She's almost finished with both of them, and I will get them, and I will make working copies of them, and then I will put those, because I know how expensive those patterns are, and I will put them, the actual pattern itself, somewhere nice and safe, and I will not touch that pattern again, because I don't want to be responsible for, you know, scratching the photo on it or accidentally bending something, because she keeps hers in a plastic sleeve, and she's very careful with them. So the fact that she's let me borrow them, I can't be more thankful for that, and I don't want to damage them in the slightest bit. And so I will make working copies of them, and I will hold the pattern until I'm finished with it, and then I will give it back to her when I'm done. But this one, I can tell by which fabric I picked out. This one will be the Queen of Freedom, and she will go on the Pledge of Allegiance fabric by Fabric Flare. And of course I don't have the picture to show you, but I will put in a picture of what she looks like up here. And all of her flosses are on. I will say that as soon as I get the patterns for these, I am starting them. I'm not going to hold off, because even though I really don't want to start more, but it's the simple fact that I want to get these things back to her ASAP and have them the least amount in my care, because I know how expensive these patterns are, and I don't want to be responsible for ruining them. But there are all of her flosses. She would look really pretty on that. Not sure why her Krennic is being kept in here. I usually keep the Krennic that it calls for in sort of my stash. Let's see. How many treasures does she have? A decent amount. Let's see if we can show these. There's one. There's some. There's some. And there's some. So she has 4 packs of treasures. And these are all of her beads. And I believe 3 of these are the same color. Yep. But that is Queen of Freedom. And I'll show you my storage containers that I use for my acrylic, because I've noticed that a lot of my projects that use acrylic, a lot of them use a lot of similar colors, so I don't want to hold a spool of acrylic in the bag with the project and have, you know, use 6 different, you know, brand new spools of acrylic when I can just keep them all in one container and pull them out for whatever is needed. This would be Lady of the Flag, and she is going to be stitched on We the People from Fabric Flair. My stutter is, and it's, I believe, 28 count. It's, yeah, that looks like 28 count. I believe so. Yep, 28 count. And we have, as soon as I untangle some of these, because I laid them down badly. All of her flosses are ready to go whenever I am. Well, once I get those patterns. And then her acrylic is also kept in here, which is odd for me. But those are the acrylics. No treasures for her, just beads. Let's see here. Those ones. Those ones. And these ones. Those are all the beads she takes. And that would be it for Mirabilia. And as for my acrylic storage, let me show you here. This is what I do. There's a couple tins of them. Okay. This one down around a bit, so it's a little screwed up in here. It's not so bad whenever this thing's full. But this one contains, this is acrylic number 8 braid. And then these are DMC diamond threads for if I need it. It's called for, and I have it. But those are the number 8 threads. Let me see. I just fluffed that out. I didn't mess it up. Put that back where it goes, so I don't forget it. Let me look here. Okay, so this one contains number 4 braid, but this has it's also all acrylic in here. But this has all my extras in it. So if I run out of a spool that's in this other container, then I know to go to this one. And it'll have the things I need. And this is the one that I'm actively using. and it has one spool of all the colors that I need. Actually, I just emptied one the other day, and it needs to be put in here because I know there's an extra one of it. But that is how I store all my Krennic, so that way I can, it just sits right down here on the floor next to me and my stitchy spot. So that way, if once I come to a spot in a pattern that needs Krennic, I can just pull this one out and pull the one out that I need, and I can always, you know, the new spools are kept back there, so that way if I need to switch out to a new spool, I can. These are new patterns that I bought that I'm fighting to start because I really want to start one. But these are all made by Works by ABC. And the designer is Arlene Cohen. This one is Elegant Laced. And it will be stitched on this fabric. Yellow is my favorite color, but Elegant Lace will get stitched on this nice bright yellow fabric that I dyed. And it is 28 count. Showed those two. Next one is called, same designer, same pattern maker. It is called Rosebud Lace, and it's going to get stitched on this bright red fabric. And then the last one will get stitched on this fabric, which I might dye this a second time to get it to be more of a solid color and deeper, but I don't think it'll look bad either way. But this one is called Exquisite Lace, and it'll go on this fabric. And that is all physical copies of patterns I have. I do have a bunch of digital patterns, and I'm going to, I guess this pattern calls for Flosh and DMC. This is the Flosh. This is regular DMC. And all three of these patterns use the same materials. So I have these ones, and then more Flosh here. Lots of Flosh for these patterns, and more regular DMC, and then regular DMC that's not put on the floss drops yet. But it's ready to go when I want to start it, and I really want to. And I'm trying to put off doing it because I have enough stuff on the go, and I would like to complete a few before I start any more, even if it is ridiculously hard to try and stop myself. The rest of the patterns I have are all PDF patterns, and at some point in time somebody unplugged my tablet last night, so it is deader than a doornail, and so I can't use it to show you pictures of these patterns, but I will put in the pictures of what they look like, because I can bring it up on my laptop whenever I go to edit this, and I can put the pictures in. But for PDF patterns, and Sew to Stitch, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I have the Rococo ladies. All I have is the pattern for that. Well, no, I have the fabrics for them as well, but I haven't dyed them yet because I haven't decided what I want to put, what colors I want to dye it with, because the Rococo ladies are, I don't know, they're really cool looking, and some of these, like, I might want to do kind of like a rainbow effect on the fabric. I don't even know yet, but I will figure that out whenever it comes time to where I have quite a bit of things that need dyed, and I just prefer to dye everything at one time than piddle fart around with it. Like, I don't want to just dye one fabric and then move on. Like, whenever I dye my fabric, I like to have like a lot of things that need to be dyed at one time. But I have the fabric for it, but it's not dyed yet. So I have the base fabric for it, I guess you could say, before I add all the pretty colors. Also from Soda Stitch. Oh, and that'll be stitched on, it'll be 28 count that one gets stitched on. But it'll be 2/2. That one will get stitched on. And then I have Ice Cream Ladies, also from Soda Stitch. I'll put in a picture of it. But that's the one that I'm kind of like I think like a rainbow shade of fabric that would look really cool on. So I might do that. We will see. Next one is the Flower Ballet, and also from Soda Stitch, also getting stitched on 28 count. I have the fabric. It's just not dyed yet, so there's no point in pulling it out. And that one, I'm not sure what colors I want to dye that fabric yet, but I want to make it, I don't even know how to describe it. I want sort of like soft colors on that one. And the last one I have from Soda Stitch is Elves Garden, and I have the fabric for it, but again, I haven't dyed it yet, so I don't know. We will see. Editing Brittany here. I missed a couple for the Soda Stitch. I also have from Soda Stitch Pinup Girl. And again, I have the fabric for it. It's going to be stitched on 28 count 2/2. But I haven't decided what color fabric I want to stitch it on yet. So I'll figure that out later. What else did I have here? I also have from Soda Stitch Flower Elf Fairy Sprite. No, yeah, Flower Elf. Also, and I've got the fabric for it. I just haven't figured out what I want to dye the fabric to look like. I will get there eventually. But yep, I have that as well. And then also from Soda Stitch, I have the, it's called, let me open it up here. What's this one called? It's called Dress, also by Soda Stitch. And I kind of like the fabric they have it up against, which is kind of like a brown shade. So I might see if I can, it's like a gray brown. So I might see if I can dye fabric that is similar in color to that. Let me make sure there isn't any other ones here that I missed. I don't think so. Nope. But those are all the ones I have now after I finish and include those 3. But edited Brittany out, back to the video. From Boris Designing, I have the Pokemon Generations. I have the whole 1 through 7. I've already started on Generation 2. That is in my whip pile. So I have all the fabrics for all of those. It's just waiting for when I'm only going to stitch those one at a time. So once I finish the Generation 2, then I'll start stitching the rest. Okay, as for Hades, I have Late Summer Garden. It is by Dominic Davison, and all I have is the pattern for that. All of my Hades, I only have patterns for it. I haven't picked out fabric for it. I haven't picked out fabric for it yet. The next one I have is a quick stitch. It's Alternative Reality by Josephine Wall. And again, it's just the pattern. And then the final one is Long Dong Sampler. And it's Lee Jarine de Plaisir, which I probably butchered that really bad. I do have the flosses for that. And I believe I also have the fabric for that, but I don't have it pulled out here. And then there's another Long Dog sampler I have too. It's like High and something or other. Because I remember dyeing the fabric for it, but I don't think I started it. I almost forgot that one. But those are all of my patterns that are going to be stitched at some point in time. I can go into what's been happening on now. So if you have just been here for checking out what I have in my stash, and that's going to be stitched eventually. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys next week, because next week should be my update video. So have a good week. As for life updates, what is going on? Vinny is sick. I'm supposed to have him right now, but he got sick, so his mommy is staying at home with him and taking care of him. Has anything really interesting happened at all this week? I don't feel like there has been anything real interesting going on this week. We got drywall up in, I think, 2 of the rooms upstairs now. Bathroom drywall was in, and I believe the little bedroom drywall was in. I can't remember. But I only went down Saturday, down to the house we're renovating, because there was really, my husband and my nephew go down every weekend, but there wasn't anything where, like, my husband could work on one thing and me and my nephew usually work together, or my nephew and my husband work together, and there's, you know, something I can do off by myself. And the things that needed to be completed, there wasn't really anything that I could do. It was a 2-person job, and those 2 were down there, so I really wasn't needed. But Saturday I went down, and because of Abby and her knee injury, I wasn't able to go down 2 weekends in a row. Abby is feeling a lot better now, and she's able to get around a lot better with her crutches. She can get up and down the stairs, and she's able to go to the bathroom by herself now, and because that leg has to be stayed completely straight, and if it's not, like, if it's held at any sort of angle, it still causes her some pain. But she's got it to the point now where she's figured out how to do everything without, you know, mom sitting there holding her leg up to do everything. But she's capable of doing. She's been going around the house with just one crutch, which her doctor had said that was okay if she did it here at home with just one crutch. So she's been able to do that. So this past weekend was the first time that I could really get back down there, and I got there, and those 2 were working on putting water lines and stuff up to the bathroom and doing drain lines, and there really wasn't anything I could do. So I got down there, and they just had, like, stuff everywhere. Like, it was all over the place. Nothing was organized, and they were getting frustrated because they'd go to find something and they couldn't find it. And it's like, well, like, before I left, like, I made sure all this stuff was organized. Like, tools were all kept in here, and each tool went into, you know, a specific bag for what, like, it was used for. And then, like, out in the kitchen, I have it set up where, like, okay, if you need something electrical, everything electrical is in this box. You know, the wire, the outlets, the light switches, wire nuts, anything you can think of, any tools for that we need for the electricity or anything like that. It was all kept in one box, you know, like water line stuff, you know, the piping, the drains, all that kind of stuff was in one spot. You know, like lights were kept here, and faucet fixtures, and so on and so forth. There was a method to my madness out there, and that stuff was all over the place throughout the house, and their tools were all throughout the house, and of course, as they're working, instead of putting anything into a trash bag, they were just throwing it on the floor. So there was a bunch of stuff laying all over the floor, and wood wasn't stacked into a pile anymore. Like before I left, I put like 2x6s in a pile, 2x4s in a pile, 1x2s were put into a pile, which most of that stuff they've went through. So it was just kind of more or less like scrap wood that was left. So I was going through all that stuff and organizing everything, putting everything back in the pile, you know, going through, sweeping all the rooms, cleaning up all the trash, and making it easier for them to move around and work in there again. And once I finished doing that, there really wasn't anything else left for me to do. So I just sat there the rest of the day until they were finished doing what they needed to do, and it was time to go home and for me to cook dinner and things like that. So I accomplished all that kind of stuff and finished it. You guys can probably hear my poor nephew over here snoring. Poor guy. He was tired, but he's over here snoring. So if you hear snoring, that's who it is. But just doing little things like that. There wasn't anything left for me to do. So Sunday, at the end of the day, Saturday, I looked at him and I was like, I'm not coming back over here Sunday. There's literally nothing for me to do. There's no point in me coming back. So that was that. But they should be getting more drywall delivered, I believe, Friday. So that'll be fun. We'll get all that started up, and then I don't really know if there's much I can help with that either, because it's kind of a two-person job. You know, you center everything up, you put it up, one person holds it, the other person screws it. Really, what am I there for? But it might come to a situation now where there's no real point for me to be down there until, you know, the drywall needs mudded and then sanded. But to hang it, I really don't need to be there. And hopefully that can be, I'm shooting to have this place done by the end of October. I really want to have it done and get her moving in here so she can have Thanksgiving there and Christmas there and everything. I just want to get this thing finished. I'm sick of doing it already. I mean, it's nice to see it coming along. It's really nice, but since we've been doing this since the middle of June, we are exhausted. It's been how many months now of us chugging along 7 days a week and not stopping. So there's that. My husband went to his doctor, and he's finally going to see his neurosurgeon Friday. He goes there and sees them Friday to see what they are going to do. He has degenerative disc disease, and then he also has spinal stenosis, which is degenerative disc disease is essentially you have your jelly packets there in between your vertebrae, and there's a couple of them that are non-existent, so it's his spinal vertebrae just sitting there rubbing against each other, and it's very painful. And there's a couple that are bulging and herniated and everything else. And then with his spinal stenosis, in that same area that it's a little farther up, a couple of vertebrae that he's dealing with that also are, so he has, I forget how many there are. There's 4 or 5 vertebrae that are herniated or bulging and stuff. And then there's also, I forget how many, I think it's 3 up. It starts 3 up from those that the actual space where your spinal cord goes, his is narrowing, which is causing him a lot more pain. And especially in those areas with the bulging and herniated discs as he's going down, those have considerably narrowed. So they're looking at possibly doing surgery on that at some point in time. Right now he just wants to go and find out, like, is there anything we can do to push off the surgery, because he's only 50. And pretty much once they start working on the spine, like the kind of surgeries that he would need, it ends up traveling up the whole way up the spine, and then you're pretty much, you know, you're ramrod straight and you don't really have much movement. And he wants to prevent that, but at the same time he is very much so tired of being in pain, so I don't blame him there. You a happy girl. You're such a good girl. And then, what else has been going on? I can't really think of anything. Today's just one of these days where, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyways, it's my birthday! Woohoo! Another year older. I'm 35 now. So, I don't know what else we're gonna do. Besides, we have these cute little poppers. These cute little poppers. Yes. Oh, we love our puppies. But I think I might, I think this coming month, I'm going to pick a whip. This is my plan, kind of like going through things in my head here. I think I'm going to really start working on my fancy ladies and start knocking some of those out so I can start some new ones, because I'm crazy. I think I'm just going to put that Disney Princess Sal down for a couple months. I just kind of need a break from it. I'm so exhausted from doing it. And not even that, like, I'm really nervous about the charting that I've done for some of these characters. Some of them I think are really good, and some of them I'm just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a deer, but does it really look like Bambi? So some of these I'm going to have to rethink about those, and I also need to chart some more of those. But I want to see some finishes, and I think if I focus on, like, one fancy lady and just start powering through it, I can probably get 2 of them done next month. And if I could get 2 of them done, I mean, that's 2 more off my list to do. And I still need to count how many whips I have, because I haven't done it yet, because I'm kind of nervous to know exactly how many I have. I'm a little bit of a chicken. But anyways, it's time for me to take these DOGs OUT so they can go POTTY, because if I say the words, then we will get barking and screaming and hooting and hollering. But thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys next week with an update. Bye.